Here are some things that I'm doing to financially prepare to leave the United States. So the most important thing that I did when moving back to New York City is move in with my mom. And it is hands down one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. My mom pays the rent and I pay her bills. And so a very small amount of my money is spent on these bills because it's just the two of us. And my day job is flexible enough where I can get a side gig that pays really well to bring in a substantial monthly income. So I'm saving the majority of my money to invest in other small things that would allow me to build some sort of financial stability. So one of the most important things that I've decided to do is to buy an apartment. One of the things that I noticed from being with my ex is how having property makes your life a lot easier. And so I decided to actually look into it, and I thought I couldn't buy a place in New York City, but I actually can. And so at least by the end of next year, I should be able to have an apartment in New York City. It's not going to be in the best neighborhood, but it will be somewhere desirable enough where I could have it in my family or rent it out to someone in my family even. The money that I would make from renting this apartment out could also help my father in Jamaica by helping to rebuild his house. Another thing that I plan on doing is learning a trade. There are a few options that I have right now, but I want to learn something that isn't reliant on education. And the one thing that I have in mind is very niche. I plan on getting my certificate in it next year, but this is something that I can do anywhere that people also would pay for. I'm looking into getting certifications to boost my resume. There's ones that you can do for like project management and things like that. I'm not necessarily senior in my field right now, but once I show longevity in the current company that I'm in, I do think it would be possible for me to get a remote job. And so I'm just looking to boost my resume in any way possible that I could potentially get a job where I don't actually have to be in the United States to perform it. The first 2 years I was living in Budapest, I was really lucky to have gotten a remote job in the US, and it made my life so much easier. And so I just plan on boosting my skills, my resume as much as possible to increase my chances of doing that again. I'm also considering getting a certification in something physical, which sounds weird, but even becoming a Pilates instructor is something I'm looking into. When I was living in Europe, I came to a lot of realizations about my financial future there. It made me realize that I can actually do a lot of things that I didn't think I could do before. And there are a few entrepreneurial pursuits that I would like to try to accomplish as well. But it requires that I fulfill these smaller goals first so that I can continue to build my savings up. And that's why it's really important for me to curb my shopping, treating myself to like these small drinks and things like that, because it does actually add up. And so I already lived simply, to be honest. I didn't really spend too much money before. That's not true, actually. I did. I spent a lot of money like on clothes and things like that. But I just decided it's not worth it anymore. Seeing my savings stack is way more important than buying an item of clothing. And I feel like now that I have the goal of buying an apartment, there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing this, especially clothes or vacations or things like that.